Introducing the Past Present Feature Film Festival, a new showcase celebrating cinematic storytelling across time. From bold proof-of-concept shorts to standout new films lighting up the circuit to overlooked features that deserve another look. Sponsored by the Past Present Feature podcast and Leica Camera, all films screen in Hollywood using Leica's CineWay projector. Submit now at filmfreeway.com/past-present-feature. The past, the present, the future of film, all under one spotlight. Welcome to the Past Present Feature podcast. Belgian filmmaker Frederike Migom breaks down her Berlinale premiere, Everyone's Sorry Nowadays, a coming-of-age story set almost entirely inside a single home and a young girl's mind. The film explores identity through a tightly contained structure, blending realism with imagined sequences that bring the character's inner world to life. She talks through her unconventional path into directing, from acting and production work to navigating Europe's state-funded film system. A key turning point came not from making films, but from receiving funding, the moment she says she finally felt allowed to call herself a director. The conversation digs into adapting a novel, working within creative limitations, and why fear is an unavoidable part of the process. Migom cites films like Boy, Arizona Dream, the work of Céline Sciamma and Andrea Arnold, and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind as touchstones for balancing realism with subjectivity. She also shares a simple philosophy that carried her through. Feel the fear, do it anyway, and trust that the process will lead you where you need to go. Tell me about your doc.
It's set in a youth psychiatric hospital.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, it's about kids in the hospital. They're there for up to a year. And I'm basically talking about mental health, but strictly through their eyes or minds. So,
wow. So it's a comedy. Not funny. Not funny at all.
It's a documentary about suicidal teenagers, basically.
Goodness gracious. Where does that take place?
In the hospital.
I'm sorry, what city?
Oh, Brussels.
Oh, okay, nice. And you're from Antwerp, I see.
Correct. But I haven't been
gosh.
in Antwerp in a long time. Why?
I'm looking at your Wikipedia bio. How do you pronounce your name? Because I do not want to get it wrong.
Frederike Migom.
Nice. It's a cool name. I've been to Brussels for one day once, and I've always wanted to make a crime film there ever since going. Something about it.
Why?
It's just very crime film ready. I think it's the I don't know, like it was wet, it was moody, it was like gothic-y, I don't know. Like it was very, maybe not gothic, a little gothic.
Yeah.
But it was just
dark.
a vibe. It's dark.
A dark
It's got
city.
some shit going on. I feel like it's, the center of the EU as far as the capital of the EU, technically?
Correct, yeah.
A lot of finance there. Am I right?
No, I mean,
No?
it is the capital of the EU and the Commission is there, but there's also really a sort of underground art scene that is less talked about internationally, but that's very vivid, and it's nice because it is still rather underground and non-pretentious, and it's really, really interesting. But it's also a dark, chaotic, messy city. It really is.
Okay, so my vibe, the instinct was correct. Why is it messy, you think?
It's well, to give you one example, we haven't had a government for a year and a half.
Oh.
Just because they can't get their shit together.
It's like here.
Well, I'm not going to... I would say
we don't
no
know.
to
We
that.
already know.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move right along because we can keep our sanity that way. Nice. Okay, so you're in Brussels now. You live in Brussels.
Yes.
And Antwerp, I always think about Snatch when I think about Antwerp, the diamond thing. Remember Snatch, Guy Ritchie's movie? Yeah. Oh, that's what I think
I do.
as an American.
I do.
And so, okay, you are...
I didn't write that Wikipedia, by the way.
Oh,
Obviously.
You didn't?
I don't know what is in it.
Oh, let's go through it just real quick. You started your career as an actress, where you made your film debut, Miss Homeless, in 2009. Is this correct so far? No.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but that wasn't. I don't know what it says. it's not Miss Homeless was like, I literally was in the film for 3 seconds, and it was a friend of mine who made a film. This?
Interesting. In 2010,
I have no
you worked
idea.
I'm going to tell you about you then, the things that you don't know maybe, or things that are not correct. In 2010, you worked as the second AD for the film First Mission?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, check. And then in Smurverlift?
I worked on that. That was an internship.
So you did some work, some ADing, and then you let's see here, you were post-production coordinator.
Oh,
you've done some things.
Yeah.
We're going back.
I've done some things. Like everyone, you start out doing whatever you can.
It's true. Yeah. Which, that's a good place to just roll right into like your origin story then. Before we do that, I do just want to state your movie title and what's going on with it. Your film is, I'm blanking, but Everyone's Sorry Nowadays. You're premiering at the Berlinale, and it is about, on a sweltering summer day, Bianca feels unseen by her parents. Then an unexpected encounter with her favorite female actor, Billy King, helps her to find herself. A tender, imaginative tale about dreams and carving out a space for yourself in life. It's a world premiere. Berlin is so dope. I mean, it's a really great place to premiere a film, right? How excited are you about that?
Very. And mostly what I'm excited about is the fact that we just finished the film Friday.
Oh, wow.
And last Friday, yeah. And to be able to just go into the world with it right away, that's...
Bless you.
Especially nowadays, that's the best.
Yes.
That's the best. I cannot be,
There's all this, like, I'll speak for myself, but there's just all this kind of concern or, like, question about, your movie getting seen these days, right? And separate of just a distribution conversation, just these festivals, I feel like, are more important than ever. And especially the top ones, right? And Berlin's top 5 in the world. No competition, but, it really is. Like, it's top. It's top. And how wonderful that you get to premiere your movie there. And, like, oh, my God, you finished Friday. You finished the color and the sound mix and all that, like the technical.
The whole shebang. Like the very last day was Friday. Yeah, final mix.
When did you have the picture locked? How long ago was that?
Editing picture lock was November, beginning of November.
Okay. Still not too long ago.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was one big train. We finished shooting August 31st, so we went straight on. Yeah.
You finished shooting August 31st, 2025?
Yes, sir.
That's wild. Wow. But were you editing along the way?
No, I mean, I wasn't, obviously. The editor started, I think, 3 weeks before the end of shooting,
Damn. That's
So
remarkable.
I had 4 days break and then got to see the first edit.
I love this so much. This is like it's not always like this, though, right? I mean, it's nice to hear when it is. Every project's different. It can be easy. It can be smooth and it can be fucking chaotic, especially this doc stuff. Like, I'm dying over here with this current project. It's just
what's happening?
5 years.
I mean, so am I, but what's happening?
Well, it's I love to share about my stuff. I'll be brief. It's called Hollywood PI, and it's about these two PIs that are unlikely duo. One's 68 and one's... Are you 68, Paul? You're 65. He's old. And his roommate / sidekick is 29, and his best friend and his roommate. And they are so opposite, but they're hilarious together. And they're trying to solve a very serious murder case, which is the assumed murder of Paul, the older PI's mentor from back in the 90s, who was a guy named Fred Otash, who was the guy that we should all know about, but probably don't, which is the guy that they based all of Chinatown off of and LA Confidential. And he wiretapped Marilyn Monroe's house. And the night before, him and Paul were going to go on the Joan Rivers show back in 1992. Paul heard 3 gunshots from across the courtyard. Yes, this is a documentary. This is not fiction. And then so Paul was terrified and kept his mouth shut until he met me 5 years ago. And then we started digging it up and trying to figure out not only who killed Fred, but, who killed Marilyn. But
it's true crime.
It's true crime, but it's more funny than anything. It's funny and profound as far as just the desire for legacy and what sense of purpose and all that. Anyways,
great.
It's cool.
At least it's funny.
It's good. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's great. And I've had an interested production studio that wants to help that wants to help beef it up a little bit. It needs, because it's good, but it needs to be really good, and we have a chance for it to be really good. And I've been dealing with contracts before we can kind of move forward with the edit, the edit beyond my director's cut. And in the meanwhile, we got into Slam Dance and some other festivals, and I'm like, okay, cool, great. And then I'm like, I can't, how far can I really go with the Slam Dance? And I love Slam Dance, but like as far as once I started talking to sales agents and publicists and stuff, it's like we're limited, you know? And I'm like, man, let's pull it and then continue to work on it and hope for better, because I don't want just good or really good. I need great. So yeah, I'm over here just like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You know, just trying to maximize
I'm sorry.
it.
I thought Slam Dance was really good.
It is really good, I think. It is really good. And like and it would be perfect for it's weird. It's weird, but you know, this film itself, I have a filmmaker that I actually interviewed on this podcast that loves the movie, and she wants to help. She has come on to help re-edit it, and they made huge, great documentaries, and they won Sundance a few years ago, and there's a chance to go bigger with this one. So I just didn't want to like be like, what could have been? I'm like, no, let's actually find out what could be. You know, so
bigger is Sundance.
Huh?
Bigger is Sundance. Like Sundance is the only one.
I think
in
Sundance
the
and Berlin, Sundance. You know, I mean, not for this film, maybe for Berlin, but like either way, there's bigger festivals that would help with a bigger possible distribution deal. I got to keep working on it. I want to be done with it, but that's not the priority. So that's what I'm going through.
Doc is hard.
Doc is hard. It's great because you can start immediately, but then the price to pay is stuff like this. How long have you been working on this documentary that you're doing?
To be honest, only 3 years. It was much quicker than the film.
Okay.
Just that's because it was in a hospital, and the kids change. You know, they're there for a year, so I couldn't every application to make do new kids, and also because we're making it for TV. I mean,
okay,
it's not a TV doc. I mean, it is, but it's not really a TV doc. It's an artistic documentary. That's important to say. But because it's going to be broadcasted, it went quicker. An author's documentary.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
I suppose.
Cool. How long is it?
Yeah. 3 episodes of 40 minutes.
Sweet. Tell me about like the first time you said to yourself, I'm a filmmaker. I want to be a filmmaker. Or when did you realize you were one?
It took a long time before I dared calling myself one, I think. Originally, I wanted to be an actor, as you read on Wikipedia.
Which is completely accurate.
There's a difference between wanting to be an actor and starting your career as an actor. I studied acting. I didn't really do it much professionally. I think I was really quick to switch. So I wouldn't say I started any career, really. I went to study acting, and then I switched because I think I quickly realized that I wanted to create. And as an actor, it's just difficult because you're waiting around for people to... Yeah, and I had writing, and I wanted to, make stuff. And I studied in the U.S., and what that really... taught me. I studied acting in the U.S., not filmmaking.
Okay.
I went to
in New York?
France. I went to France for that. In New York, yeah. And that was in the early 2000s. And I mean, you probably remember that, but it was this kind of beginning of mumblecore and sort of prosumer cameras, and people just starting to make films. We don't have to wait for anyone. Let's just do it ourselves, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It was like the Dogma 95. Then it was the mumblecore, Sean Baker and them and Shi Ching doing Takeout. I think that comes to mind, right? 2003. Where like, get a camera, grab a camera, go.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do it at the time. I was just observing. I was 17 then when I arrived, but it's the energy that was there then.
Sure.
That I took with me to France when I studied then filmmaking, because I got kicked out of the U.S. then.
Oh, what did you do?
Nothing. I wasn't allowed to be there.
Oh,
I graduated, and then they kicked me out. Yeah.
And they were like, "You got." And
then I was like, "Yeah, that sucked."
Sorry.
Like I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't. Yeah. And I was a bit too young to get married and all that, so I left.
Gosh.
Yeah. Well, that was what we did.
Were you with somebody? Was that where you had a relationship going, but you were too young?
Yeah, but like I was 20 years old. But that was what us foreign students, considered. We were like, okay, what are we gonna do? So I left.
Okay. I mean, you went to Paris.
That vibe, I went to Paris, yeah. I wanted to go to London, but London was too expensive.
Oh, London. I love all these places. New York, London, Paris. And what year was that when you moved to Paris? This episode is brought to you by Beastgrip, mobile filmmaking gear I actually use when shooting in the field. If you're filming on your phone and need something solid, modular, and built for real productions, Beastgrip's rigs, lenses, and accessories are designed to hold up without slowing you down. Beastgrip gear has been used on films including 28 Years Later, Left-Handed Girl, all the shot on iPhone Apple commercials, and many more. If you're ready to level up your mobile workflow, visit beastgrip.com and use coupon code PASTPRESENTFEATURE for 10% off. Beastgrip. Keep your footprint small, keep the images powerful. Beastgrip.com.
Obama got elected in my first year in Paris.
Wait.
So that... When was Obama elected?
Oh,
So
wait.
you should probably know that.
Obama,
Oh, wait,
08.
yeah, Sarah, there you go. I went in 2007, and
So I was I was up in I was up in New York working on independent movies as a grip for about right when you left, I guess. So you left, I came to New York from North Carolina, and you went to Paris. But man, I just
you
think
arrived
about
from
that.
North Carolina to... Oh, that's...
Yeah. But anyways, Paris. So how was Paris in 2008?
You were working as a grip, so I was dating a guy in New York at the time who was also a grip.
Okay.
And who actually gave me sort of this idea to study film.
Oh.
And yeah, he gave me like the first, I remember that really well. He gave me the Robert McKee book. And he was like, take this. And yeah, at the time it was a big deal. He was like, read this. You're going to be a filmmaker. I was like, okay.
I mean,
it was good. It was a good gift.
Yeah, those books too. It was so valuable. And now it's just YouTube. You can get all the information quickly, and it's kind of a whole all over the place thing. But back then, it was so funneled down into like Story by Robert McKee and John Truby, Anatomy of a Story, and Save the Cat by Blake Snyder, and all those structural Hollywood formula things. Which I mean,
You've read them
you see
all.
behind me. Got a couple of And then I realized, oh wait a minute,
You
I
see
should start
behind me?
being so structured. Oh, you have a book collection as well. Nice. Random question. I like this conversation because we're just like super, super loose. What's one of your favorite film books? I didn't ask for the favorite because that would just be too much.
I think one of my favorites is directing actors.
Okay. Oh.
Shit,
I got it right there
again.
behind my Robert Bresson book.
Who is it?
I've got it right. Wait, is it this book here? Hold on. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll check this one.
Oh, yeah. That one?
Which one? Yes, that one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I need to reread that, actually, because I need to reread that because
I love it.
We're going to do a little micro-budget feature film here this year, and we're just like, fuck it, let's go make something. So I need to
Read
brush
it.
back
It's
up.
great.
Nice.
Because I think a lot of directors often forget. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to talk for everyone, but I'll speak for myself. I really love actors. And it's when you read that book, it's like, oh, right. It reminds you to like really embrace the process of working with an actor and what you can get out of that and what you can give them as well. It's such a beautiful thing.
And just being able to speak the same language.
Yeah, it's good to get reminded of that. I try to read it every time before I start shooting.
All my friends are actors, not by choice. It just happens that way. I don't know why.
Really?
It seems like it.
Tough.
And all their names start with J. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. There's like literally half my... Anyways, not about me. Okay, so I want to answer my own question. What's my favorite film book? One of my favorites. Own Directing by David Mamet is a good one.
Yeah.
It's just
Fair enough.
like
That's
just
a good
the
one,
value
too.
of just like boiling down like what is the common denominator here for this scene? What are you after? What is it? Cut the fat. Okay, so anyways, back to you. So Paris, tell me about Paris. And then I guess like that chapter for you.
So Paris was film school. And what I was saying is I think I took that vibe from New York into Paris because in Paris at the time, I felt like, in school we had this running joke that the French were so holding on to we are the cultural capital of the world, kind of because we had the Nouvelle Vague, but it was so old at the time and nobody cared anymore about the Nouvelle Vague, which is not entirely true, of course, but everyone was very excited about the American indie scene kind of developing, which wasn't happening yet in France, or I don't know if it ever did. So it was really nice to take that energy there and to just start shooting. And I was working with an American director there as well. And when I was in Paris, I would leave over the summer and go to New York to work on an indie film. It was an interesting time where I sort of mixed these two cultures because I couldn't let go of New York. And I wasn't ready to really be in Europe again. But at the same time, I really like Europe. So it was interesting.
Very
that
likable.
way.
Yeah. Europe's not so shabby.
Yes. New York is very likable as well, but just...
I agree.
Politically, it's getting a bit complicated. But anyway, we weren't.
I feel like New York is the most European American city, right? As far as culture,
that's what
sensibilities.
They say, but it's still
it's still America.
Let's say there are a lot of Europeans in New York, but it's still very, very.
I'm just comparing New York to the rest of the American cities too. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, unlike, LA. I love LA. It's not perfect, but I'm happy here. But New York is like, I don't know, the most European American city. That doesn't make it a European anyway.
It's because it's cute.
New
York has cuteness to it.
It's got cuteness.
Yeah,
It's got identity. It knows what it is. It's got its own shit. But also, I think as far as filmmakers are concerned, it's more of a filmmaker town city than LA is. I think LA is more show business, right? It's more business.
I agree. Yes, it's more passion, more love in New York.
It's more craft driven, more reverence for film. Here it's like,
absolutely.
Yeah, but like can you sell it? Let's put a shark and a tornado together, So anyways,
that's
moving right along here. Okay, so Paris.
And so then in Paris, I graduated and I wanted to stay. But like I said, French film is really closed. It's really difficult to... It's really its own kind of... world. And then I realized actually that in Europe, the easiest to get funding is to just go to your own fucking country. And I did.
Film financing there through your country.
Yeah.
And I guess, everything's more private financing here, but I guess you still have your own issues, right? Trying to be accepted or selected, because you're not the only one trying to get financing, or is it pretty obtainable? Like, what does that actually look like? As an American, I've always been curious.
It's competitive because indeed there's only like a few sources and everyone needs to go to that source.
Sure.
But I think it's also obtainable. I think it's more straightforward. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's better because it's more obtainable and more accessible. On the other hand, it is a family that you have to kind of like work your way into. And if you don't find your way in, there's no other family, which I think in the US, at least, there are all kinds of ways.
Random things.
And here there's really just kind of one way. Yeah. Because like making films by yourself or super indie or like, we don't have a distributor. And like our audience market is so small that if you don't have a distributor or... If you have if you make a really niche film in the States and 0.01% of the population sees it, it's still a lot of people. If you make a niche film in Belgium and 0.01% of the population sees it, it's like 100 people.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Just like
so you're really dependent on the system. It's a great system, but you're very dependent on it.
Got you.
Which is basically the Europe versus America thing. But let's
it's a microcosm of larger things. But the notion of the state-funded film is just, it's such a wonderful thing. Like, I think a lot of European countries seem to give back to their people as opposed to here. It's we're going to overtax you and then put it all in our pocket and then act like you owe us more. It's just nice. It's nice that they put money into the arts like that. Yeah, so
It really
that's
is.
really cool.
I hope.
Okay, so
I hope that
Paris. What was after Paris?
Brussels.
So back to Brussels. Okay, and then what were you kind of making at this point? Where were you at in your career?
I got an internship because I needed to do an internship for school, and then I did an internship on a feature film. At PA slash extras coordinator slash whatever they can put me. And then that I started working afterwards for that production company. And I think at the time I hadn't yet, I mean, I knew somewhere in the back of my mind that I wanted to be a director, but I didn't exactly know yet how on earth that would be possible, because in Belgium, I guess if I would have stayed here, like most directors, how it works is like you go to film school, you try and make a really good short film, and then maybe it wins something, and then you get kind of picked up, and there you go.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously I had been abroad for so long, so I knew nothing about how things worked here, and I had this American system in my head where you just kind of like work yourself in. So it took me a few years working in production and assisting and doing all kinds of things. Casting. I did casting. I worked on set. I did all kinds of things. Yeah.
You're like me. Yeah. We're at same. Where it's like, yeah, same. It's nice. And a lot of people aren't like that, I don't feel like. Not everybody's path is like that, where it's like all these different dimensions.
It's really the American way, I feel.
Yeah.
Or, well, you're talking about America, but...
No, I mean, I'm talking about everybody. I think, yeah, some people, I'm glad that I got on. Look, everybody has their own path and their own starting point, and I was just, first of all, trying to get the fuck up out of North Carolina and by any way necessary. And I was lucky because we had Wilmington. Have you heard of Wilmington, North Carolina? The studios down there. Dino De Laurentiis created the studios in 82, I think. And then North Carolina had this tax incentive, and it was like a hotbed for larger independent films, and so I'm born 90 minutes from that place, and so when I wanted to make movies, my mom was like, why don't you just go to Wilmington? And I'm like, I want to go to NYU, because all the ads in the back of the magazines, thank God I didn't. I mean, I would have, whatever, not thank God.
I would have loved to go to NYU.
I would have loved to go to NYU. I'm just bitter. No, but I was so lucky to have this back door, for sure, into the Wilmington thing. So, but, it's not like you have to be being a crew person was really the only way out right off the bat. And I'm like, what are those grips doing? They seem cool. And like lighting is very interesting to me, and like cinematic lighting. How do they do that? So yeah, anyways, that's what got me out. And then it was all about trying to get out of gripping at that point, get in to get out, 5-year plan lasted 7.
Yeah. I had that with production. That was really hard to get out of as well, because it's so busy. Like, producing or like assistant producing, it's like a 7-day a week job. Ugh. It never stops. Never. Yeah. What saved me actually? Exactly. It doesn't pay that well. It doesn't pay enough to like. But
you get a little comfortable where it's like, what am I going to do now? I've established myself, and then I have to back out. What am I doing? Kind of thing. At least for me, that was how it was for me. But I was always like, make a film. Do a job, make a film, do a job. And then I just went to New York, New Orleans, LA.
But I couldn't make a film because production is so all-consuming.
7 days.
So
what about in between?
I knew that I had to quit
films?
In order to make a film. Mm-hmm. In between films that I worked production on?
Yeah.
No, I was at the production company.
Oh, okay. It was a full-on, full-time. I got you. Yeah.
Full-on, full-time.
You had to quit.
And I had to quit, but I didn't know how to quit. And interestingly, what saved me was that it's a bit of a secret, but also not, I guess.
Yeah, tell me.
What saved me is that I got a job, a part on a soap opera.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So for six months, I got to be in some soap opera that I wasn't necessarily like excited about, but it would pay me the same amount of money I would get on as a production assistant, but only working 10 days a month.
Oh Oh, wow. Beautiful.
It's crazy.
Beautiful.
You go to set, you say your lines, you leave. Yeah. So there I was all of a sudden.
And it was a new thing too, where you could just pivot into something else that you were, Oh, great.
Yeah. It was weird. It was super weird, but
the timing
it did allow me to make my first short film. Being in a soap opera is weird.
Yeah. Just the bandwidth. I mean, the volume of 10 pages a day.
Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with cinema, and you dream of cinema, you get into soap opera, and you're like, whoa, this is something else.
And now here we are with the hottest thing in town, are vertical soap operas. Vertical filmmaking.
Right.
It's like, man, reality TV, like very soap opera-y. What is it? Anywho.
Is that actually a thing? Vertical filmmaking?
Oh, you don't know? Oh, yeah.
I mean
here in LA, everybody's clamoring to get up into vertical filmmaking. 3 years ago, it had popped its head up, and these Chinese companies were creating these apps that basically, all the storylines are the same, very soapy, where it's like, I'm in love with my rich, hot boss, who's also a werewolf. Yeah. And they make them for like $130,000, and they cut them into like 3-minute shorts. It's a whole script that's cut into 3-minute shorts, and when you're watching it on the app, like real short. What is it? I forget. There's a bunch of them. You basically have to pay to watch more to unlock the next thing. But it took off.
Oh shit!
And now everybody, with all this, all the work going really slow, everybody's not too good to work on vertical filmmaking now. And all these agencies in Hollywood is kind of like investing in it. So yeah.
We haven't arrived there yet.
Okay, back to you. I need therapy. I need like a specific film therapist, a therapist who understands the business that can just hold my hand and tell me, hey,
it's a little bit. I mean, the conversations in cinema world, even here, and I can imagine it might even be worse there. It's changed for sure in the past few years.
But maybe there's a niche that's created that's widening for people that do care about cinema and craft. The reason I do this podcast is that's one of the big things, one of the big reasons, like just or seeing vidiots or these cinephile-driven cinema lover spaces, I mean, I think the less you get
it'll
the
always
more
exist.
Desirable it is. Yeah, I think so. Even the theaters, it's like, okay, if we have to truncate it back down to 2-screen theaters or even 1-screen theaters, make it more special, less quantity, more quality. I think that's probably what's going to happen. I don't need a megaplex.
But then I guess, then it'll become even more difficult to make them, I guess. Then it'll really just be the happy few that get to make them.
For sure. I know. But
I'm so grateful that I've made 2. I hope I'll make more, but we don't know what it's gonna.
It's
anyway.
The gratitude is key though, because I'm glad that I've been able to do what I've done, but also I have unfinished business. I'm like, God damn it, I need some things I haven't had yet. And with the business changing and all this, it's just like, how do you get people to want to go to the movies? And like, not everybody loves it the way we love it, but they used to. I think the 90s,
I know.
Everybody was a cinephile, not self-proclaimed, but everybody.
I guess there wasn't an alternative.
And there was a culture, and there was curation required. With curation comes almost more reverence, to a degree, as opposed to you give everybody everything all at once, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Human nature, you don't want what you can have so easily. It's out today, you just heard of it. Okay, I don't really want to see it.
Well, but they're going for easy when it comes to vertical, the audiovisual consumption. That's easy consumption. That's fast food consumption.
Sure. Yeah.
So in that sense, they find film to be too difficult.
Yeah, it's like reading a book.
Because I have to think, and it's like reading a book, which is awesome, by the way. But
so you were hesitant to call yourself a director then? You're trying to be careful about not. What was it for you?
I thought it was very because.
Pretentious?
Yeah, I was nervous about that. It's the same with calling yourself an artist. It's similar, like in filmmaking also, that it's a hard kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it took me a long time to be confident about that name. And I think it was only until I made a funded film, Because, when your film gets funded, there's a group of people that sit around a table and that have read your script and are having a discussion about it and have decided that you as a person are worth giving money to.
Man. Yeah.
And that's when you're a director.
Yeah, I've had a taste of that. It's like, oh, God, yeah, this is what I want. This is great. But yeah, it's like...
Yeah, I remember that feeling of getting that first email that says, we've decided to grant you 60,000 euros to make that short film. It's like, that's when it's real. Even when if you see the money hit your account. 4 shorts before.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is that the short they got into Tribeca? Did you, or is this just Wikipedia just fucking with me again? Okay. Okay, and that BFI London Film Festival as well.
Yeah, it did great, that short.
And then, so what happened after that? And you directed a short documentary. SIG?
Yeah, I did a few shorts apart from that, and then I started on my first feature. I did the short documentary kind of in between. It was a film that sort of came to me because I met this... All the documentaries, I wouldn't even call myself a documentary filmmaker, even though I've done a few, but it's somehow the documentaries have always come to me, whereas the films I've definitely gone after them.
Had to chase them. Oh my God. Yeah, this is another combo. We have a lot. Yeah, because it's like docs are... I feel like for me, fiction has been more of an abusive relationship. Like I'm in an abusive relationship. For me, fiction, where it's like I give so much to you and you don't give back. But documentaries, it's like, oh my God, it's just much easier, but not the work aspect or not the patience aspect required, but it's as far as just the reward factor, what has come once it's done, and the audience response and the authenticity and all the things that I want, which is that connection with the audience. I
find it harder, a documentary. Fiction is not abusive to me. I like it a lot more than Actually, no, I cannot say that because I really like doc as well, but I find documentary harder because you're dealing with real people. And so the relationships are so fragile, and for me, it's ironic because a lot of people would say documentary is more free, and I get how it is more free, but to me it is less free because I have an enormous responsibility towards the people I'm making a film about.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly nervous about breaking trust or whatever. Whereas I think for me it's I write a story and we make it.
I think for me, it's, and I hear you. I think for me, it's like the over concern of like, is this authentic? Is this real? Does this feel real? I'm fucking so terrified of melodrama. And because I made a film that is very melodramatic that I hope no one ever sees, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Fiction, you're talking now?
Fiction, yeah. But with documentaries, it was like, oh my God, that weight is off as far as these people are real. Like, if I can just choose to... not just to stand back at the right times and let things happen, which is the same with fiction film. But it's just like, this is already real. Let's just make sure they don't ham it up and just let's be candid and make sure they're themselves here. That, for me, that was... But again, we all have our different paths, and it's like...
When is a fiction too melodramatic then for you? Like, what makes it...
Yeah, in my experience, I mean, I was trying to do my first really... I mean, I was making comedies for my first 3... all my short films and my first few features, and so but it was always another genre, usually romance before the comedy, but either way you always had the comedy, which was like so fun, and it would like you can get away with a lot in my opinion when you have that layer of comedy. But then I moved and did something serious, tried to make a crime film that was very serious with no comedy. And I realized after the fact that, like, once you have one fucking hole in that curtain and that light shining through that you don't want there, you're fucked. You're screwed. Meaning, like, I just wasn't as versed as I wanted to think I was at the time, as far as just this is very serious business. And I think it was because of the lack of believability in the performances and the scenario. So that was my experience. And so I feel like I was at the mercy of which you are, the mercy of performance or lack thereof. And, I take the burden on that because I just, I wouldn't undo that because of the shit that I learned on that movie is crazy. Like that was crazy. It was a grad school for me. Anyways, but I haven't made a fiction feature since, and it's time to fucking break that. Yeah.
Script is everything. It's true.
Script is everything, but also like I came from. I mean, I worked on comedy shows. There's a show called Eastbound and Down that I was working on. I was working with like comedy like a lot. Just comedy was my life, comedy filmmaking, and so I think that for me, but I love crime, but I just wasn't prepared like I thought I was, and so it kind of fucked me up a little bit.
I'm sorry about that.
Money for this
I'm sorry for the abusive relationship that you have with fiction. It's true. Maybe you should get a therapy session. I'm happy to be your therapist here.
I have a therapist, but just like somebody who's just like a film. Maybe we could, start a business here. Talk about your movie. Let's go into your movie. It's time. Everyone's Sorry Nowadays. This is based on a book, right?
Correct.
And how did this come about? What was the development like on this?
I read the book. My aunt actually gave me the book. My grandma said, hey, maybe you should turn it into a film. I said, well, I don't know. I did a film with kids already. And, I don't want people to see me only as a kid film director. And I went home with the book, read it, and I was like, oh, I have to make this into a film. I wrote to the writer. I was like, hey, can I make this into a film? And he was like, yes. And then COVID happened, and then I took the book into quarantine. Quarantine? Am I saying that right?
Ketamine?
How do you say it? Yeah.
Quarantine?
Lockdown. That's French.
Quarantine.
Sorry.
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Like,
okay. Sorry.
You took it.
I mix up the languages sometimes. I'm sorry.
No worries. I only speak
quarantaine in French. And I took the book into quarantine. Shit, I forgot again. Quarantine.
Quarantine.
And quarantine. I had a friend write a treatment, and then I wrote the script, and then we got money for it. Actually, this film, to be honest, went quite smoothly in that sense.
I mean, it sounds like it went smoothly on the front end and the back end then. And, well, let's talk about, I guess, going from development to production, into production. Was that smooth? It
was smooth, apart from a 2-year wait, because that's then, again, like I said, the funding system is limited, so there is only kind of one system. So there are too many... You're in a queue, basically, and like...
Right. It's like a small door everybody's trying to get into.
Exactly. And at some point, everyone was like, oh, we really like it, but you're number 4. And then, so we had a 2-year kind of break where we were waiting for money. But they kept saying it's really good, so it's really not a quality thing. So it's also that we didn't have to rewrite or anything. It was just really a wait.
Can I ask you this? As far as getting the book rights, and then also you adapted the screenplay, I guess, right? You adapted the book into a screenplay. So was that? What is that like? I've never done that.
I loved it because this book, I think it can be very difficult for many books, but this book is 120 pages.
Oh.
And it has a really clear 3-act structure. It's almost written as a film, like no kidding. Yeah. And the only thing that I had to do was translate this main character's thoughts and feelings into scenes to avoid that it would just be one big voiceover.
Amazing.
Right? And so this is great because I didn't have to worry about the structure because that's so difficult. I could just sit, close my eyes and imagine.
That's amazing.
And then type it out. And it sounds maybe a bit too easy. It was hard.
You're a down player, obviously. Yeah, I'm not a director.
But it was really, really nice to adapt because I didn't have to struggle through structure and through how it was just very clear from the beginning how I wanted this film to be, and the idea that I could make a film in which that happened in one day, and with the inside of a mind becoming visible.
Yeah. Which it lends itself to a film, well, if done well, right? To a degree.
If done well. I have to say, I was very nervous about that because I did know, I was very aware from the start that it wasn't my previous film is very classic in girl wants something, fights for it, and then has all the, sort of like your screenplay book classic.
Sure. Yeah.
This one, had also this a relatively classic structure, but also to have a whole film play in one day and to have imagined thoughts and feelings become scenes, it was a risk, and I was nervous about that, I have to say. Like it could be completely cheesy or terrible.
Well, it reminded me of a film that I interviewed the director for called The Thing with Feathers, which actually premiered at Berlin last year. Dylan Southern's film with Benedict Cumberbatch. In terms of just like the imagined, you know, is this real, is this not real aspect of it, you know, and seeing this through a character's viewpoint, which is like, it is all about point of view, right? I mean, as far as like when you're telling it through a character's point of view, it's like that is very cinema ready if done correctly, or it can be very, very in tune with what you can do with this form. But no, I think, and also, the 24-hour thing. It takes place in one day.
Yeah, not even 24 hours. I think the whole
those
film
movies.
is maybe 5-6 hours, not even. Yeah, I like that too. Maybe I like it because it has a link to the theater. Obviously, I originally come from the theater. I mean, in a way that was just what we were educated in. Yeah. Yeah. Or like my education started in the theater, let's put it that way. And so this, not only the time, but also because in this film, it's limited time, but also limited, it's all inside their house. So it's also kind of a huis clos, and I
mostly,
quite
right?
Like
you still go out a little bit, don't you? But it's mostly in the house.
Just in her mind.
Just the fact, too, that like you have to be strong elsewhere with this material. If you can't lean on, we're going to go to a new location now. We're going to shift this, you know, we're going to like it's a play. It's good plays are great. I mean, great plays are great because they are, the story is told through characters and through strong dialogue or character action, right? As opposed to just like leaning on some kind of, not surface thing, but some sort of back burner element, you know, like a setting change or something like that. That's
exactly. Yeah. No fancy locations, no fancy, just none of that. And sometimes I was like, oh shit, you know, do we need it? Like, aren't we going to miss it? Like a landscape or an architectural, like something, you know, image. Yeah. And it was really interesting with the DP as well to think like, how, in what sense is this interesting? But he was from the start very interested in creating that world, like that, not indeed what you said, not leaning on kind of the obvious imagery.
It's like 12 Angry Men,
using
right?
Emotion. Yes, I love 12 Angry Men.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Because it's just about people.
Yeah, and it's like
that's a good book as well, by the way.
Well, you mean Sitting Women Making Movies?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like that too.
I love the whole him getting prepared for the rehearsal with the bagels and all that.
Yeah.
But 12 Angry Men, with the way that he moved told the story visually, but then it was like, you don't need anything else. You just need these characters with these high conundrums, these high.
It's just people and energy,
conflict.
And it's great.
Yeah.
And tension between people, and that's really for me what I like about cinema is that it explores human behavior and the way people interact with each other. And to have that condensed in that way, it's great. It really allows to focus on the actors. And limitations are quite fun in that way because I guess you're much more creative in a way because of the limitations. It's interesting, actually. I did a script writing workshop last year, and it was all about limitations.
Okay,
it was even called Lim. And they really pushed you to find limitations within the story, limitations within so you were forced to think within those limitations, which is a really interesting thing.
It's like there's always, the good stuff is always in the challenge, I feel like, you know, the limitations. Yeah. What do you have?
Which doesn't mean it has to be abusive, because a lot of people have abusive relationships with cinema, and sometimes people tend to think that it's supposed to be that way. I feel like when I was growing up, you have to suffer to make a good film and stuff like that. And it bugs me sometimes.
Production of your film. How long did you shoot this movie for?
26 days.
Nice. And it was...
Is that nice?
I feel like that's solid. That's nice. I feel like, especially considering the situation, right? You were in one central location, I would think.
It's not bad.
it's not bad. I mean, you could use more time, I'm sure, but yeah, it seems pretty like a healthy amount of space to play.
It was okay. It was okay. Yeah.
Okay, just okay. You need more next time, right?
Maybe just a few days more would be great.
Just a few days more. Give me a challenge and give me a highlight, I guess, if you don't mind, of production. Like, what was kind of the hardest moment, if there's anything that comes to mind, and then a highlight.
The hardest moment and the best moment?
Yeah.
What was the hardest moment? Filmmaking is never easy. The whole thing is hard. But I think this shoot was so gentle and so... my previous shoot had been a little bit rougher on the relationships. Like I had a complicated relationship with my first AD, and it was more. It was the first thing, and you don't feel trusted as much. And this film, from the production to the DPAD team, there was just so much care that even the hard things were okay because it was just a job, We were all just working on something with a lot of love. I mean, now I'm the cheese ball, but I really mean that. Like, everyone was happy to be there, and I don't know. It was really a beautiful shoot, to be honest.
Nice.
And it was really nice that we were for a very long time in and around this house. So the whole crew was together in this one space. And it was a Belgian, Dutch, German crew. So that was also fun to have all these different kinds of people. And it was just a great summer, to be honest.
And it's also who you're with, right? A lot of times, right? The people that you're sharing your space with. That can make it
completely.
Great.
Everybody cared. Everybody was just normal to each other.
Normal. That's always nice, isn't it? As opposed to, what the fuck is that guy's problem?
There were no.
No, I feel you.
No, and it's possible. It's just so possible, and it's beautiful if that works.
It's so great to hear. It's wonderful. It's a great experience for you, and it's like
it was lovely.
In Berlin, man, come on. This is such a dope festival. And Berlin's special to me because we need more time, part 2. Experiencing the Berlin Film Festival and then also going to these like brunches with these European filmmakers. They were so fucking excited about movie making, and I'm like, where do I get this back in LA? So that's the reason why
in
I
New
started
York a lot. I spent a week in New York meeting all kinds of people a few years ago, or last year actually. And I was surprised because our funding system also sometimes makes people a bit lazy, maybe.
Oh.
Because I think the industry is much tougher in the States, and you better be really, really good or you're not gonna, make it.
Sure. Okay.
And maybe because we have that, I don't know. It's maybe a bit difficult to say, but I found people in New York so passionate about cinema and mostly about European cinema. Like, they were more aware of all the European classics than I was. I was like, whoa, dang.
There's such reverence too for outsiders looking in, right? I mean, the French New Wave was more loved and respected by Americans than French at the time, right?
Maybe,
I believe.
Yeah. Maybe they just all went to NYU.
But even the way that the French would hire all those American directors, who's Jules Dassin, think about that guy, Rafifi. Anyway.
Maybe that's a bit the other way around now, I wonder.
Maybe so. I
know
don't know.
Americans are very excited now to do European co-production.
I am. I love everything about Europe. Well, not everything. I'm back up. Beep, beep. Hold on. But no, as far as I'm very romantic about most things Europe, especially film, and the way that they fucking honored the craft. And as far as New York, I feel like New York filmmakers, I mean, look at the Sundance lineup. A lot of them are from the U.S. competition or whatever. A lot of them are from Brooklyn. A lot of filmmakers that I interview are from Brooklyn or New York, or, not all, but a lot of them, are. And this podcast is definitely craft oriented. So, yeah, I mean, there's a reverence for it. Okay, so Berlin. How are you preparing for it, or what do you have to do? I mean, obviously the film is done. You're taking a beat here, but you've got your publicist, you've got what sales look like? Do you already have your sales agent?
Yeah.
Did you already make a deal?
Level K, yeah.
Okay,
Level K.
Nice. Level K, okay. And were they there?
They did my
from the beginning?
first. Yeah, we did. They worked on my first film as well.
Nice, and they're good. They're good to work with, obviously.
Yeah, I think the film did great. The previous one, so.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
so they're there, yeah.
You are
But I think-
smoothly rolling along here with this project, I feel like. It's
Kind of
good.
sounds that way now. We'll see after
I
Berlin.
know.
Maybe nothing happens.
But it's
We
so
don't know.
refreshing and nice, you know? It's great. It's
I'm
great.
happy. I mean, I'm very happy about it. So let's see what it does. You never know. Maybe we go to Berlin and then nobody gives a fuck about it. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe the press will
Whatever.
see it next week and everybody will be like, this sucks. So
Oh,
we'll see.
please. No,
You don't know.
Well, let me ask you this before I forget. Are there any past films that inspired? I mean, obviously the book was the book, but did you have any films in mind when you were making this, or films that were similar or that inspired you when you were making this film?
No films are really similar, I have to say, or none that I know of. I was inspired by Boy, Taika Waititi's Boy.
I never saw it.
It's great. I love it.
Okay.
It's very
Great
different. It's very different, but it's a great film, and it really inspired me. Strangely, I was inspired by Costa Rica's Arizona Dreams. Completely different kind of film. I don't know why it inspired this one. Maybe just the use of imaginary elements. Emir Costa Rica's Arizona Dreams.
Arizona Dreams, yeah.
I mean, super, super different kind of film. But I think there is a magical realism in it that I like a lot. Céline Sciamma's films that are also very different, but they're fascinating to me just because they're also kind of like portraits of young girls, which it's not that common.
Right.
To
Think about
have them be complex. It's really difficult for
young girl protagonists.
characters.
Yeah, Andrea
Yeah.
Arnold, I think it comes to mind. Like
And
maybe,
her, exactly. Céline
but
Sciamma
that's-
and Andrea Arnold, I think, are the most
She
sort of
comes up
interesting
so much
in
on
that
this podcast
sense.
too. It's crazy.
I can imagine.
I just saw a bird on the plane back from
I love Bird. Did you like
France.
Bird?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. It's amazing.
Bird is amazing. Also that, in Bird, also the use of kind of magical realism elements. I love that. It's something I definitely always want to find, how something can be so realistic and yet how the inside of the mind can become realistic is
Oh my God.
realistic because it is.
Okay, last question.
Eternal Sunshine, I guess, also.
Oh
Very
yeah,
interesting. That's
for sure. No, for sure. Okay, last question. It's always the same question. What would you tell your younger filmmaking self if you could go back in time and tell her something that you know now?
Like, how young are we talking?
Yeah, whatever you want. I don't know, 4 years old. I'm just kidding. Whenever you were like, whenever you started making movies, let's just say go back to New York or go back to right before you left for New York when you were like, I'm going to pursue filmmaking.
I would say, okay, I have two.
Okay.
One is something that I had someone tell me this throughout my life, older life, and it's just so good. It is like my mentor, a good friend of mine, would keep on telling me this. He was older than me, and when I was starting out, he would always say, feel the fear, do it anyway. Because filmmaking is so scary, because it's so lonely. And when you have an idea, you can go out and tell people about that idea and people are going to go, oh, great idea. But then nobody does anything. And you have to basically just drag this mountain for years, keeping on believing in it and convincing people that it's going to be great. And it's so scary because it's really vulnerable because you don't fucking know it's going to be great. You hope it will be. You'll do the best you can, but you cannot really know. Still, you have to convince these people because they're going to give you a lot of money. So I find it often really scary, like raging fear. And so this always helps, like feel the fear, do it anyway. And then the second one would be trust the process.
Please like and subscribe to this podcast and follow us on social media at Past, Present, Feature. And let us know in the comments section what movies you're watching. Thank you so much for listening to the Past, Present, Feature podcast, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Love learning about filmmaking? There's no better film school than actually watching movies in theaters. Revival Hub is your guide to specialty screenings in Los Angeles. Classics on 35mm, director Q&As, rare restorations, and indie gems you won't find on streaming. Revival Hub connects moviegoers with over 200 venues across LA, from the major Revival houses to the 20-seat micro cinemas and more. Whether you're an aspiring filmmaker or just love great cinema, Revival Hub helps you discover the screenings that matter, the ones that'll change how you see movies. Visit revivalhub.com to see what's playing this week. That's REVIVALHUB.com.